All right, Mental Health Awareness Month is coming up next month in May, but it's never too early to work on being your best self and uplifting others too.
Yeah, with so much technology at our fingertips, it's easy to feel a lack of human connection, even with those closest to us. So joining us to continue the conversation is Dr. Harry Cohen in psychology and the author of Be the Sun, Not the Salt. Doctor, good morning to you.
Good morning. It's a delight that we're having this conversation.
Oh, I agree. So let's start with how to work on ourselves. One of your tips is to smile and move on, which is easier said than done. But talk with us about the best way to move on from situations that feel like energy wasters.
So what you bring up is a very simple idea. I wrote 31-page chapters in this little book to help remind us, me and you and everybody else, how to be our best selves more often, to ourselves and to others. So to your question, how do you practice that? You do your very best and you forgive yourself and you give yourself grace and you do the next right thing. So you don't make it complicated. You keep it really simple. And that is the key. Don't make it complicated. Do what works for you. If you can smile at a stranger, if you can hold the door or hold your tongue, both are great.
Doctor, I'm glad that you said give yourself some grace because I've been trying to use that term a lot in 2024, just as like sort of a simple reminder to yourself to be like, you don't have to work on perfection all the time. Like give yourself some grace. You know, you don't have to live up to other people's standards of yourself every day of the year. You know, kind of go at it the way that you want. There's obviously a lot of things that we like to call pet peeves that maybe drive us nuts a little bit. How do we get rid of those little things that just sort of peeve us from time to time?
I love your question. I wrote a little one-page chapter, Release Your Pet Peeves. The first and most important thing to realize is that we all have them. And again, back to give yourself grace. When you see yourself having a peeve, being irritated by something small, I want you to see it. And in seeing it, you can then do what you know how to do, which is how you tell your friends or your kids to say, let it go. It doesn't really mean that much. Don't work yourself up into a froth. Don't try and create the rationalization that you're right to be irritated because it doesn't help. So how you do it is you do your best to say, oh yeah, I used to get irritated by that, but I've matured, I've become more wise, and it doesn't bother me anymore. Even when it does, you go, oh boy, it used to be much worse. So again, give yourself some grace and do the next right thing. Don't complicate this.
Sounds like a great place to be when you finally just say, that doesn't bother me anymore.
Just let it go.
All right, doctor, what can we all do to help uplift others?
So I'm glad you asked the question. If you think about uplifting others, you'll see opportunities to do so. And they're all around us. Smiling is the easiest. Look for something that you can do will lighten someone's load. This morning I did the dishes for my wife. I should say my wife, for both of us. My point is that if you keep your eyes peeled, you'll see opportunities. Pick up the piece of litter. Look for ways to be helpful. If you see someone who's struggling, you say, are you doing okay? I mean, the graphic that you have on the screen there is a beautiful one, but look for the tiniest ways that you can be helpful. And if you have your eyes peeled for how you can be helpful or uplifting to others, you'll see them more and more and more. Say nice job when someone's kind or sweet to you. Compliment them authentically and beautifully. And you don't have to wait for something big. You can do the small stuff. And then the more you do the small stuff, the easier it becomes to do more of the small stuff. So you have to feed the good wolf, as it said, and instead of the bad wolf. There's plenty of bad stuff to go around. So focus on the good stuff, and when you see it, say it.
Yeah, and you and I talk all the time about how kindness can be infectious, right? And just spread kindness and how much of a difference that would make in the world. For people that are reading your book and reading through one of these one-page chapters, which I love that it's kind of short and sweet, gets to the point, right? How long does it take for the advice that you pass on to others to sort of be common practice in one's life? It takes time, I would imagine, but how long before it becomes common practice?
The answer to your question is it's instant and forever. So for example, in the moment that you're kind and sweet, to your partner, to the perfect stranger. You get the instant benefit of doing that. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to do it in the next moment. You get to practice and practice and practice right up until we die. So the good news is it's instant and it takes forever. And I'm 69 and I'm still enjoying learning this. I'm much better human than I used to be, but I'm not done. But I get the benefit of this moment being kind, just as you said. Don't make this complicated. I keep saying that. But when you say, well, how long will it take? It takes a split second, the blink of an eye.
Wow. Instant and forever. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, doctor. That was frightening.
My absolute pleasure.